Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, and today we're going to be doing one of my favorite videos, plush that sold on eBay. We're going to take a look today at all of the plush that sold on the platform in the month of April. Let's just jump right on in. You guys are looking at a Kohl's Cares Chameleon. I like Kohl's Cares. I mentioned it in yesterday's video with March's plush. I like to get it. It's bread and butter for the most part. Sometimes you'll be pleasantly surprised, especially with the recognizable characters from children's literature and shows. I find Kohl's Cares all the time for $1 or less, sometimes 50 cents. So I just grab it all and consider it bread and butter plush. This chameleon sold for $12.99, and he is from children's literature. He shipped first class. Next up, we have Hedwig the Owl from Harry Potter. He's a 5-inch plush, not very large. Let's see if I can get to the photo of him with his measuring tape there. Very small. He's made by Gund. Gund is a very good brand. I like it. I usually source anything I find by Gund, but especially something this recognizable. I thought this would comp a little bit higher, but $13.99 is good for a small plush like this. And he shipped first class, obviously being so small. Then we have a Dandy Rudolph the Reindeer. Dandy is a brand I like. And I love finding dandies that have special things about them. Like this one, his nose lights up, and you can see I turned off our studio lights and took a photo of Rudolph working there with his nose lit up. He's got jingle bells on his antlers. He's official Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Dandy. He is only 11 inches tall, but he sold for $23.99 because he's such a specialty plush. So do keep your eyes peeled for the dandies, especially these specialty ones. They can go for quite a bit. He shipped in a box just because he had the bells and his nose. I wanted to protect him and not just send him in a poly, but he was still first class. Then we have another Beanie Balls here. So I showed you a Beanie Balls in yesterday's video. That was an elephant. And I think that one actually sold for more than the Ninja Turtle, which is sad. But Ninja Turtles tend to be kind of oversaturated. Some of the different brands and the bigger turtles will go for really good money. But this is just a tie beanie. So he sold for $9.99 and he shipped first class. Here's a Disney Frozen Elsa. She's a plush doll, stuffed animal. I just picked her up because she was only 50 cents and, recognizable character from Disney on the tag there. Frozen is not as big as it used to be. There was a time when Frozen stuffed animals would fly off the shelf and for a lot more money. But they're still pretty popular. A lot of little girls still like them. This one sold for $14.99, and she shipped first class. This is an Aurora Legendary Friend, so I did not know that. I do like the Aurora brand of plush. It is one of my favorites to find. Some of the vintage ones and some of the characters can go for a lot more money. I do enjoy the Aurora. And when I went to comp him, I just looked up Aurora Green Dragon and found a ton of these, and then I just cross-referenced on Google real quick to make sure that people on eBay weren't just making up stuff. And yes, this is a legendary friend. His name is Ohin Gentleheart the Dragon. So he sold on a best offer for $15.29, $15.29, and he shipped first class. Here's a Hugs to Go Operation Military Kids. Now, this is a plush doll that has a space for a photo, and it's meant to be like for military kids whose parents are deployed. The parent can put their face in this slot right here over here to the face here. And then it's the mom or the dad's face for the kid whose parent is overseas or whatever. And they have this little plushie to remind them of their parents. I think it's such a little sweet notion. He sold for $14.99, shipped first class. Here's a vintage Tasmanian devil. And this will just go to show you that sometimes just being vintage or a recognizable character doesn't make something worthwhile. This is an official Looney Tunes 1994 Tycho Playtime plush. Not as exciting as you would think. People just love to race to the bottom on a lot of these. And these vintage plush like this, I think, should be worth a lot more. But you cannot list too much higher than everyone else or your stuff will never sell. This sold for best offer of $12 and shipped first class. Here's a Toys R Us snake. Now this snake was 50 inches long. And here's how I did the photo. I folded the snake in half and measured it and showed that and then just doubled the 25. So it is a 50-inch snake. It has a really cool print on it. Guitars. And Toys R Us is out of business in most places. So if you find Toys R Us plush or Animal Alley or anything like that, they're good to pick up. The snake sold on a best offer of $16.16, and he shipped first class. I had to fold him in half to get him in the poly bag, but he did ship first class. Next up is a Minnie Mouse, and again, Minnie Mouse is one of those oversaturated characters, and even this one, official Disneyland Walt Disney World, didn't comp that high. She's got her iconic red and white polka dot bow and dress, and she sold on a best offer of $11. I got her for 50 cents, so I was happy with that, and she did ship first class. This one was so super stinking cute. I could not stand it. This is a dandy, and it's a large rainbow bear who has his own little teddy, this tiny little white guy. And the little white one had his own tag, his own little tush tag. So cute. They are connected. They are sewn together, but they each have their own individual tags. And it's just really cute. That is just a really cute stuffed animal. That sold for $25.30. So again, keep your eyes out for those special dandy plush. It did ship first class. Next up, we have the Pokey Little Puppy from the Little Golden Books stories. This one's been around for a very long time. We found him at the bins, and we haven't been to the bins in probably a couple years. So that tells you how long he's been around. He, by weight, may have been 10 cents, so it's okay that he sat for a while. He was actually at the point where I was probably going to pull him and keep him for myself. He is really cute, and his storybooks were some of my favorites growing up. If you haven't read the little Pokey Little Puppy, he was just the naughtiest little puppy out of the whole litter, and he was always getting in trouble. And I just really liked his stories. So as soon as I say, hey, I'm going to probably keep this one, it's really small, can sit on my desk, he sells. So he sold for $10.99. Of course, he shipped first class. Here we have another one of the Cutitos. If you did not watch yesterday's plush video, I had a pink sloth, and I talked a little bit about the Cutitos. When they're brand new, they come in foil packs like trading cards, and they're usually wrapped in a blanket, which is called a burrito. And when you find them used, they're normally not going to have their Cutito burrito. So I usually just disclose that up here in the title, again in the description here and down here. No one reads, but I figure if you put it in 3 spots, there's more of a chance they'll read it, and they'll know they're not getting the burrito. This is Despacito from the Sloth series. He has the orange hot pepper, This one sold for $15.99, and he shipped first class. Next up, we have a Build-A-Bear ballerina tutu dress. This is one that sold for a little bit less than most of the Build-A-Bear clothes. I took a best offer of $9.50 on it, but it is just additional profit. I took this off of a rabbit that we just sold this week. So you make a little bit more when you sell them separate, guys. Strip those bears. Next up, we have my famous dwarves here. I got these at a church sale, so they have been around since 2019. That summer, we found them at a church sale, and I remember digging them all out and making sure I had all 7. They had them in separate places. It was weird, but I did find all 7 of them. I remember they were marked at $2 a piece, but they gave me a deal because I bought them all, and we had bought a whole bunch of other stuff that day too. So the lot of the 7 dwarves sold for $100 on a best offer, plus they paid shipping in addition to that. We did get them in to a large mailing box at 12 by 12 by 8 inches. The largest mailing box that I've shown you guys before that I like to ship my big plush in. We had to play Tetris to get them in there. But I didn't want to go any bigger than that because once you get over 12 by 12 by 12 dimensions, you're paying astronomical prices for shipping. So we laid 3 on the bottom on their sides, 3 on top on the side, on their sides on top of them. And then Doc with his glasses, because I wanted to protect his plastic spectacles, he went on top facing up. But the buyer did pay for the shipping on it and then $100 for all the dwarfs. So that was a very exciting sale. I was excited that I found all 7. And here is Despacito's twin. This is another Cutito Slothito. These things are selling like hotcakes. I don't have any more, unfortunately. I wish I could find them every day of the week. These little sloths. People like sloths. So this gray one is just like the other gray one. But this one sold on a best offer of $12.50, and the other one had sold for $15. It just depends on the buyer. Someone thought he was worth more. I'm willing to take $12.50 on something this tiny that sells that quickly. My sloths sell very fast. No breed though. Next up, we have a Dandy Collector's Choice rabbit. Now, this is an Easter bunny with a decorated egg. He is very old. He's been around for a long, long time. I took a best offer of $13.50 on him. He had come from the Bend, so that's how old he is. Just happy to be rid of him, get him to his new forever home. He did ship first class. Here's a Tigger. Now, this is a Disney Store exclusive Tigger, so even though he's kind of like plain and doesn't have anything special about him, he does have that authentic Disney Store on his foot. Makes him a little bit more valuable. So he did sell for $16.87. He shipped first class. Beanie Baby. I listed him just because he came in a wholesale lot. I wouldn't source this on my own. I wouldn't pick it up. It is a velvety. I mean, sometimes in some instances, the velveties can be worth a little bit more. He sold for $11.99 and shipped first class. Here's a Thai Teeny Beanie Bopper. I'd never heard of the Teeny Beanie Boppers until I got Pretty Penelope in a wholesale lot, but she was pretty cool. 8 inches. It's like a little soft doll. Supposed to be a teenager. She sold for $11.99, shipped first class. Here's an example of a Kelly toy. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, I did a little speech on Kelly toy and how they're not worthless. I rather like Kelly toys. This is an example of like a crane machine prize. So it's just a cheap stuffed animal. It's just a red elephant. It's Animal Pals by Kelly Toy, and it sold for $14.99, and it also sold very fast. For some reason, I think every time I've listed any elephant, they go pretty quickly. So it could be that he's an elephant, but I mean, I like Kelly Toys. I have really good luck with that brand. Here we have a Disney Store Tangled Maximus the horse from Rapunzel movie by Disney. He didn't sell for very much, but he had some stuff going on. Poor Maximus here had some loose threads and some damage. I just disclosed it in the listing and showed pictures of it. He probably could have sold for more. They did pay shipping on him, though, because he was heavy and weighed more than a pound on his own. I took a best offer of $7.50 on him just to move him. And again, they did pay the shipping, and he shipped in one of those large boxes I was talking about. Here is a Piglet. So Piglet is definitely a way oversaturated character. And this Piglet is Mattel. So he's not even special Disney Store or anything like that. He's just a Mattel, which makes him lower value as well. Plus his tag's all funky. Funky. Anyway, he sold for a best offer of $10.79, shipped first class. Then I have this yellow with red eyes, evil. I should have put evil in the. I should have put evil in the title. Those red eyes. This was a generic. It had no tags on it. Had no brand. So I just made sure I took good photos and used really good keywords up here in the title and sold it. I do that a lot with the generic plush. He sold for $18.74. He's 9 inches big and generic, and he sold for $18.74. So I was pleased with him. He shipped first class. This is a Thai classic. So Thai classics can be worth money. There are Thai classics that are sought after. This is Champagne. There's a pink cat that looks like her, but the cream one, this one named Champagne, is the one that was worth way more money. I took a best offer on her of $30, and she shipped first class. And I really didn't know what I was getting when I sourced her. She was 50 cents, and I'm like, oh, it's a Thai classic. Sometimes those are good. The pink one, I think, comped at 15 or 20 bucks, so lucked out finding the cream-colored one. And then we have a Coca-Cola seal. I decided to try it to see if it was worth any more than the panda bears. They're not. I've had the penguins, I've had the panda bears, and I've had the seals, and I would tell you they're poop and stay away from them. This one sold for $8.99. It took like 3 years to sell. I just don't pick up any of the Coca-Cola animals anymore. Wild Republic, very, very good brand. They do a lot of really nice, realistic-looking animals. This one is a Cuddlekin Spotted Ray. And it sold for $15.99, shipped first class. I always pick up Wild Republic when I find it. If you see plush that say K&M International, that is also Wild Republic. Same company, just different names as they changed over time. This is a Build-A-Bear, just a special little Build-A-Bear with hearts printed all over it. Very cute. It sold for $19.99, shipped first class. I like finding these little Build-A-Bears that are different or unique in some way. I love the Peeps, you guys. These small ones that look just like the ducks. Candy, little marshmallows. They don't sell for very much. This one sold for $11.99. But once upon a time, some of you may remember, I had the foot-tall purple. It weighed over a pound. It was ginormous. Rabbit Peep, and it sold for like $25. So keep your eyes out for all the Peeps, but especially the bigger ones. They do sell for a lot of money. These little ones, not so much. But if you could find them with like the little Santa hats or the little Easter, sometimes they'll sell for a little bit more. Another Build-A-Bear outfit. This one I took a best offer on of $17, but you guys strip those bears. $17 just for the outfit, and it had damage. It had an ink stain. And the outfit consisted of a shirt, a pair of shorts, a pair of underwear, and a little bow for the head. Here's a Boyds Baron outfit. She did not have her cardboard tags, but she did have a cute little outfit on. I like Boyds Bears. I think they're cute, first of all, but they're good sellers. Some of them go for a lot of money. This is Eudemia Q Quignapple. And all I did was search for Boyds Bear gingham dress, and I found her. But if she had had her cardboard tags around her neck, it would have told me this information right on her tag. She sold for $12 on the best offer, and she shipped first class. Here's a jumbo Winnie the Pooh. This one sold the same time as the other one I showed yesterday. And I said I thought that the second one sold on Poshmark or Mercari, but I was wrong. It sold on eBay. So we did sell two of these. One was newer. You could tell by the picture yesterday it had a white background. This is an older picture. But this is a special Winnie the Pooh celebrating 80 years of friendship. And so it sold for a little bit more than most Poohs will sell for. Plus he's big. He's jumbo. 27 inches. He sold for $18.74 plus they paid shipping. In addition to that. So he shipped in a box. The other Pooh did not have shipping on him. He was supposed to. I'm pretty sure I put it on there and it fell off, but we'll never know. Here we have a Gans Webkins. Again, Gans Webkins are hit or miss. Some can be worth a lot of money and some aren't. If you're not willing to do bread and butter plush, I would comp them before you buy them. Me, if they're 50 cents, I buy them all, bring them home, list them all. I don't mind bread and butter plush. This one is the Rainbow Hedgehog. I took a best offer of $12 on him. Shipped first class. This is the Pokemon Detective Psyduck. It is a very small backpack clip-on. It came from the 2 mystery boxes that I purchased and opened with Robert. Very small. Sold for $15.93 and shipped first class. Here is a good example of a vintage Russ plush. That's what the tag looked like. And it printed right on there, Harvest Moon. So I said Harvest Moon teddy bear because it says it there. I like when they tell you what to put as your keywords on the tags. He's just kind of a unique looking bear, kind of orange. He had a green bow. He sold for $14.06, shipped first class. And then we have a very wee little Dragon Ball Z Shinron, Chinese dragon. He's a keychain as well. We sold quite a few of these keychain clips recently. They're very small. They always ship first class. Typically, unless it's something like that Psyduck, they're not going to sell for very much money, but they don't weigh anything to ship. So $9.37 is what he sold for. And then here's a Beanie Boos. This is a Spotty Leopard. He's got the nice glitter eyes. Glitter eyes. He's spotty. That's his name. And he sold for $14.99. I do like the Beanie Boos. I talk a lot of trash about Beanie Babies, but there are some Thai that are really worthwhile, worth picking up. Here's Tracker. He came out of a wholesale lot, and I was very excited to see Tracker because every time I get a Paw Patrol plush, it's Chase or the Fire Marshal. Is his name Marshall? It's always the same, too. I had one time that was the superhero dog, and I know I mention him all the time, but he went for so much money. But lesser known characters, guys, that goes with all of these plush. The Nick Jr. characters, the Disney. With Disney, I find like the obscure villains do really well. But characters that are harder to find are going to sell for more money. It's supply and demand. Tracker sold for $14.99, and he did ship first class. And then last but not least, a Spark Create Imagine unicorn. So these Spark Create animals are definitely worth picking up anytime you find them. And that is what the tag looks like, Spark Create Imagine. This is only a 10-inch unicorn. It had a rattle in it, and it was meant for a baby, so I like to include keywords like that. Baby rattle, infant, stuffed animal, toy. And had I had more room, I probably would have thrown the word Lovey in. Lovey's typically associated with those little square blankets with the plush in it. But you can use Lovey as a keyword on stuffed animals that are fully intended for babies. This unicorn sold for $17.99 and shipped first class. And that is all the plush that sold in April on eBay. We did sell quite a few on Mercari, and we had a couple plush sales on Poshmark, and we'll be back later in the week with the sales from Poshmark and Mercari for March and April of this year in their own separate videos. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you haven't already and you'd like to, subscribe to our channel. Help us feed a hungry hippo. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. It's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. You can search for it on Facebook or use the handy dandy link down below. Until next time, go be productive, go make some money. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.